everybody. Yes, it's Sunday, the 23rd of November, uh, 2025. And I want to say hello to everybody who's watching on YouTube and X, and those who have clicked the link from Truth Social. I know they'll be clicking in later on. I've spent the past week answering a lot of questions because of last week's video. And yes, Gay, I get the stuff straightened out on the StreamYard with all the crazy new additions that have been added to the program. So I did take time to figure out, okay, what do we do next? How do we clean up this mess and that mess? And how do we decide to project the image? So yes, and so hello to Gay, Star, Susan, Solarian. I do have to remind everyone, I am a clairvoyant, clairaudient, so everything is entertainment purposes only. I do have the disclaimer stuff up at the front end now. So let's thank you to one of my gals. So I don't want to mention who it is because we don't need the trolls going after her. And everybody is kind of like looking as to, okay, what is the weather like? Well, here in the Chicago areas, it is the mid 40s and sunny today. There's a lot of sunshine, but the leaves are falling off the trees. So thank you. Yeah, I am feeling somewhat better. Now that we know what's going on, that I actually did break the 4 ribs back in August. So I've done my homework and realized, as long as I don't do this, things will be okay. Things will start healing up better. And a week from tomorrow, the 1st, I go in for an ultrasound so they can see how things are healing up. And then I see the doctor, and then on the 2nd. So, yeah, you get the test done on Monday, and they give you all the results and all the info on Tuesday. Hi, Myra. Thank you for joining us. And I know last week I did put on the title screen what I was going to be doing. So that, I think, created a lot of the issues. They wanted to prevent me from spilling the beans about that moron who basically screwed me over in order to get a seat in the 7th Circuit Court here in the United States. Now, we have been seeing a lot of crazy crap happening worldwide. Hi, K-Mac. And I do know that Fiona her video is still happening. So we'll see how many people are able to jump over afterwards. Yes, thank you, K-Mac. It's kind of crazy when you break your rib bones. It affects a lot of your other body functions. Oh, it's finished? So, hi, Lady of the Lake. Yes. Well, everyone who's jumping on now, I caught most of Fiona's and what she was talking about, and it's the nonsense with Henry and Rachel. I did catch some information that was relayed to me, and they are stating that Charles is in, he's been given a months, not years, but months before whatever. So I'm getting the hunch that Henry's going to say to her, or it's been told to Henry, this may be your father's last Christmas. And hi, Mendocino, if you want the kids included in the will, he has to see them. Thank you, Myra. So don't be surprised if we're going to see 2 new kids coming out of the church in Sandringham on Christmas Day. Those kids have to be produced to Charles, or they will not be included in the will. And it is, they've been told. So Henry will be over there with the alleged children. That the if he shows up with kids, they are going to pull the DNA, and most likely those kids contain or the eggs were fertilized from him, but they have no genetic connection to the Markle family. So they will be recognized as his offspring, but because of the circumstances, they are considered illegitimate, and they are not entitled to, the titles will be removed, and their place in line will be, they'll be taken out of the line of succession because they are not legitimate heirs. And so there will be a second. I know they're saying that Lady C says they already have, but there will be a secondary scan of the kids to make sure that they're going to check for the genetic things that are passed down through the family. Because remember, they are descendants of Victoria. And Victoria and Albert, because they were first cousins, they did create the gene, the genetic preference for hemophilia. So they're going to check to see if those kids are carriers of the hemophilia gene. And the fact that Victoria did suffer from extreme postpartum depression. They didn't know the term back then. They still maybe called it the baby blues. And then Victoria also went into that extreme depression. And if you read some of the textbooks, some of the analysis biographies of Victoria, some say that most likely she was suffering from manic depression, bipolar, which is a genetic thing. So they're going to say, we want to make sure these kids aren't carrying these things. Lady of the Lake, if she had her uterus removed, there's no way she could carry a kid. So those kids will officially be removed from the line of succession because it will have to be revealed that a surrogate was used. Okay? And I did hear from somebody that, okay, in Florida, around the Palm Beach area, there are a lot of really, really nice luxury homes. Up and down Palm Beach itself. And this friend of mine runs a business where they house sit the mansions during the off season. Well, they go in and make sure everything is safe and sound. And he heard through the grapevine that one of the houses that's really nice, that has like a good half dozen bedrooms, and we're talking bedroom suites, like with a sitting area, a bedroom area, a ginormous walk-in closet, and an ensuite bath. Some people from the UK are looking to rent a mansion, a property, and they have a whole checklist of stuff because they said somebody of a high-profile person from the UK plans on renting it. So I'm like, what is it? Andrew's saying F you to Charles and coming to wait it out and hang out near Mar-a-Lago. I mean, great golf course. And there are really good doctors down there who, hey, know how to deal with all sorts of cancers. So I'm hearing that, Andrew's people are looking for a location in the Palm Beach area. So doesn't bother me if he moves over here. Yeah. I mean, considering the other nonsense that is coming up about, what is it, Beatrice, when she was in college, she hooked up with some idiot here, some polo player idiot from here in the States. And then QE2 said, ditch him. The house will be big enough for when the girls come with their husbands, and plenty of room for the grandkids. So that's the size of properties that they are looking for. Should Andrew decide to live here, move here, even if it's just a temporary basis, he'll be most likely he's going to be revealing the information he gathered because, hey, he was doing his James Bond gig, part of MI6, and it will be used to take down a lot of the high-end names on that Lolita Express list. Okay? He'll be working with our Department of Justice. Sarah has her sisters in the UK, so she may be splitting her time between her sister's house, like the guest cottage on her sister's property, and spending time when the daughters go to visit Andrew. Andrew will be working with Pam Bondi and our Department of Justice to expose certain people like Billy, Barry, and stuff. But Sarah will only be bouncing back and forth where there's doctors that are really know how to treat, because her cancer, she hasn't been in remission 5 years plus. So she's still on the constant watch. They're constantly watching. I know there's one group of doctors here in Illinois that they give the patients the choice. Do you want to do preventative chemo and radiation, or do you want to go in for monthly ultrasound screenings? Okay? And be closely monitored. And Sarah may choose, instead of having to go through chemo again, she may choose the opportunity to go in every 4 weeks for an ultrasound to make sure that nothing pops up. Okay? Yeah, Starmer is Keir Starmer. Donald has already chewed Starmer a new asshole, just like he's cracking down on Zelensky and that stupid idiot that is. It's going to be exposed that he was fraudulently elected for New York City. Starmer is grasping at straws because he knows shortly, I mean, a new general election is happening, has been ordered. And people who basically didn't go to the polls before are going now to make sure that they vote out every single idiot who prays 5 times a day. Okay? So that's what's going to be going on, and Starmer is sweating bullets right now. Because if with the House of Commons, it'll be completely flipped. You have to listen to what's actually going on in the House of Lords. And check what's also going on in Ireland. Because the Irish aristocracy is going to be saying a lot. And the other idiots are going to be like, oh shit, we got to follow what Lord so-and-so is saying. The peers are really going to be pulling a lot of stuff up. Now, let's see. Let me drop the link in case anybody has any questions. Wants to come up and chat today. Remember that in May of this upcoming year of 26, it will be the 100th anniversary of the big general strike that happened in May of 1926. So the people who are sick and tired of the Muslim invasion, somebody's going to bring up the fact, why don't we repeat what happened 100 years ago and go on a massive general strike? And every person who's not Muslim just say, F you, we're going on strike until you kick these assholes out of our country. Okay? And because, those idiots, they don't know how to do a damn thing. And that will be another 9-day strike. That's what will kick out all the assholes. The government will be, oh shit. You want people to go back to work? We have to agree to kick them all out. And that's basically what's going to happen. Okay. Oh, Mendocino gal, Baboon Johnson. Well, it's been all over the news. Okay, last night was the big tree lighting for the city of Chicago. Well, the little monsters started playing with their pow-pows, and there were a lot of pops all over Chicago's Loop last night. And Baboon Johnson is kind of like scratching his ass, picking his nose and scratching his ass, because this past week has really knocked him for a loop. We had that lady who was a victim of this idiot who had been released numerous times. I mean, he was out on an ankle bracelet, and the judge that let him loose, she's really getting called out on the carpet now. So he's now scratching his ass. And then with the kids, with the little brats going batshit, during the Christmas lighting, again, all hell is breaking loose. And let's put it this way, with that incident happening over the weekend, all the dinos are standing up. Democrats who are, they pretend to be Democrats, but they're not. They're actually conservatives in disguise. And there's a lot of them now coming out and being very vocal and criticizing the moves of the mayor. And yeah, I admit it, I went to high school with one of those guys. Yeah, Mustang, I keep an eye on what you're doing. Definitely. Yeah, but they're already making it known, and just check on X, type in alderman and a bunch Chicago aldermen, and you'll see all of them pop up on X, and they all are ripping Baboon and Pigster to shreds. And it's not going to be fun. Not in the least. And one of the next things that's going to come up, yes, I have been contacted because I did, after last week's video, I did send the link to a lot of people in government, U.S. government. Baboon Johnson is like, he doesn't need a bunker because he has close to 200 CPD watching everything he does. Watching everything. Covering his ass. Protecting him. Just like Pugsley Pritzker. You can always tell when he's around because there's 3 blacked out SUVs. And some outriders. Guys on state troopers on motorcycles. And it's funny, they're crazy. You can tell whenever J.B. Pritzker is in the town of Oak Brook attending a board meeting of the family biz, because you can see the SUVs, the big black SUVs sitting in the parking lot, sitting in a fire lane in the tow zone. You see, because he's governor, he doesn't have to abide by basic traffic rules because but right now there's like 5 guys duking it out to run for governor. Yes, I watched the nonsense going on in Minnesota. Talked to someone, and they said that the people who have commercial property, who have the Somalis as tenants, they're all now telling them your lease will not be renewed. And people with rental property in the area are jacking up the rents and deciding, putting new stipulations in if you want to rent properties in the Minneapolis area. Now, Minneapolis, yeah, it's the Somali playground. But remember, Minneapolis is nicknamed one of the Twin Cities. And nobody is talking about what is happening in St. Paul, Minnesota. St. Paul, basically, if they see any of Omar's followers coming in and causing trouble, they're literally thrown in the back of a squad car and dropped off at the city limits. Get out. You're not welcome here. Don't bother crossing the city limit line. And remember that Minnesota is a big hunting fishing state. So let's put it this way. Somebody who could be practicing their casting on their, might have a really good fish hook on the end of that line, or some heavy weights, and if some idiot comes in, boom, snag them. Or they may be cleaning their equipment for when they go out to stock their freezers with venison. Oops, I didn't realize there was something in the chamber. Why are they on my property? Trespassing. The idiots that have been caught, especially with the embezzlement and fraudulent, and the fact that they have been, Omar has been subsidizing Al-Qaeda, and a lot of her followers are members of Al-Qaeda. They are on the pickup list. They will be directed straight for Gitmo. That's what I keep getting. They're going to be booted down to Gitmo, and the idiots that cross into St. Paul will be held waiting for the ICE truck to come and grab them. Okay? So they know to certain areas aren't following the protocol that's been tolerated in Minneapolis, but all the other towns around it, in St. Paul, they will be like, sorry, dudes, you're in the wrong section of town. And it is going to be kind of crazy. Okay? That's what I've been picking up a lot of. And here in Illinois, what happened at the tree lighting, it's going to come out that some of the idiots with the pow-pows are some of the young idiots that pray 5 times a day. And like I've been screaming bloody murder, that state of Illinois has the Equal Rights Amendment, and every other state across the nation who has the Equal Rights Amendment in their state constitution, we need to stand up and say, hey, if these people who entered the United States illegally are getting tons of stuff through government benefits, then why aren't the legal citizens being granted the same equal share? And since these people who came in here allegedly seeking asylum can behave in this manner, then regular residents, legal citizens can do the same. And we're going to start pulling it out and causing shit for these idiots. It's not going to be pretty, and it's really going to hit. In some areas of California, it's already kicking in. And Gavin Newsom is sweating bullets because I almost want to say, don't be surprised if one of the Reagan kids decides to throw his hat into the ring. Yeah, because one of Nancy and Ronnie's kids is still around. And if a Reagan gets on the ballot in California, every single Democrat is going to shit bricks. Would not surprise me if we see one of the Reagans back in politics very, very soon. Okay? It's going to be really, really, we have to keep our eyes aware of it. And if you really want to know what's going on, there's a lot of crazy travel sites here on YouTube. Start checking them out, and there's this one guy who likes to use these people that like to use Amtrak to travel all over the U.S. And when they get into different cities, they show a lot of what's really going on. Okay. Now, what's going on in the UK, it's after January, it will be announced that William is officially in charge. Currently he already is. He's already told his father that you need to step down, Dad. He goes, the regency will be officially announced after New Year's. Okay. Probably, when they do the New Year's honors on that's when it will come out. Okay? That William is in charge. And that the stuff is going to hit the fan. Yeah, you watched Senator Kennedy from, what is it? He's Alabama, or he's Alabama. He is a no-nonsense dude who basically puts the Boston Kennedys into their correct place in the basement. So I know there's a couple other people that are making their presence known. So Louisiana. Oh, it's like they're right next door to each. There's Alabama, Mississippi, then Louisiana, and there's Arkansas right. They're right down there. But yes, I'm putting the link in case if anybody is interested in popping up, asking questions. I do know that we've got a lot of people lurking in the back to keep an eye on what's going on. And it's funny now that I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but ever since I reminded a certain group of people that they used to come into the chat and start being a nuisance, and when I reminded them that I now have the chat going onto the screen, and yeah, you can go in the chat log and remove your comments. It doesn't remove it off the filmed video. So those fools have not been coming in and making noise. That's like Slime and Ernst Blofield and whoever else is in the Melty team. But you're chilling with your kitty cat lady. Next week, if you feel like chatting, yeah, you're more than welcome to jump in, lady. And you'll have to make sure that since you mentioned you have a kitty, you are going to have to send us photos of the kitty so we can put it in let everyone see your little baby. I know it sounds crazy, but everybody has their fur babies. And without our fur babies, heaven knows what would happen. Okay? Now we've got crazy things happening. And like I said, a lot of people have reached out to me about the Jeffrey Cummings issue. Yeah, one of the things he did that crossed the line is during the nonsense, yeah, it was a hard time getting work because when things had already hit the mass media, and whenever you go to apply for a job, it's like if people do a basic Google search on you, and when they see what you're in a lawsuit for, you're SOL. And one friend of mine, Ruth Ratney, who had Real Chicago, was helping me out with my phone bill. And because I had to go into the city, and I was picking up a check from her to take it over to T-Mobile. Jeff Cummings you have to have an active phone now. I'm like, I don't have the money for it. Ruth, I am picking up the check from Ruth. He literally went and got cash from an ATM to pay my cell phone bill, which is against the law. Big time. Legal malpractice. Yeah. Big time legal malpractice. So, yeah, folks, he broke the law big time. Yeah. Charlie Kirk's thing. Okay, they are finding out that the people who are involved with taking out Charlie are Middle Eastern, are 5-time-a-day idiots. And he's the guy who likes to be the furry. He's going to do something really stupid at one of those, when the furries all get together at a hotel and they like to play around with each other. Someone's going to slip up and identify him. And it'll be somebody who's in that kind of furry friend group it'll be one of those people who helps to set him up, so the group will able to upgrade to a more luxurious hotel. That's what I'm picking up on. They'll sell them out to be able to have their fun and games at a luxury resort versus the kind of bare bones hotel that they're currently having them at. It's the fun and game. It's the furry fun and games crowd that will turn him in, because that furry person has been not so nice and has done some things that have been not in the rules of the game at those furry parties. They've been breaking the rules about doing some things. You have to ask, and you have to have a safe word, and the person's been ignoring the safe word. So he's going to be ratted out. That's what's going to happen with him. That's how he will be exposed. And he's another one who is can be traced back to Al-Qaeda. And the next thing, I was talking with someone this week, and it was a man who they came to here, the States, in 79, right after all hell broke loose. After all hell broke loose in Iran, and he was from Syria. And he said, he goes, a lot of the Christians there's still a lot of Christians in Syria. And, but after Khomeini went after the Shah, most of the other people of other faiths left Syria and everything, but the Syrian Christians and the Iraqi Christians and the Iranian Christians that are here in the U.S., they've been approaching the military and the security companies, security divisions, both here in the U.S. and in other countries, to blend in, to rat out what the Islamic idiots are doing, because they speak the same dialect and they know how to blend in. But they believe in Jesus. Or, believe it or not, there's some Syrian Jews that are that are coming in and going in undercover, because people keep asking, is there going to be another WAR? And let's put it this way, it kicked off September 11th. It's us versus the Islamic idiots. The same people. Hi, Debbie. It's us versus the followers of the extremist Ayatollah Khomeini. It's us versus them, and it's been worldwide. And people are just going to, yes, and to see it. People don't realize it's like, okay, I don't know about you, but I get at least half a dozen stupid phone calls a day that are, they're from a call center, and they're the ones that keep calling that about Medicare and funeral insurance and all this other crap. And I just keep telling them, hey, dudes, my phone number's been on the do not call list since 2012. And those are part of the call centers that are filled up with the Islamic idiots in order to get everyone's personal information so they can commit all sorts of fraud in the various countries. And some of them are the Nigerian scammers. And Trump has basically told Nigeria, and he has also informed several other countries in Africa that if necessary, the U.S. government will provide some support, because they will be, once the Islamic idiots have taken and eliminated all the non-Muslims out of Nigeria, they're going to start crossing borders. Okay? Oh, Candace Owens. Okay, I used to watch her when she first started. But now she's being underwritten by the wrong side. And her husband's a Brit, and I think he is closely tangled up with the Labor government, which explains how she's getting screwed. Okay? Something massive is going to hit her and just knock her off her pedestal. And she's going to come back on her knees crying, admitting how bad she screwed up. Just like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie she's doing whatever she can to stay in the spotlight, even though she's kind of screwed up and said the wrong things to a lot of people. And she's being called out on her bad behavior. Okay? Marjorie said the wrong thing to the wrong person, and she allowed some idiots to become close friends, and they've got some dirt on her that would be extremely embarrassing should it come out. So that's why she said, I've got to, basically it was either resign or be really, really embarrassed for something, okay? It's total embarrassment. And they've already spoken to the governor of Georgia, and it will be somebody who has Donald's approval who they will put into her seat. Okay? Alrighty? And, okay. So, it's going to be. watch to see who they appoint. It's basically blackmail. No, she hasn't been making money off of her position. She's not like Jasmine Crockett, okay, or Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she has saved and put it into the right retirement accounts, but she hasn't made the millions like other people have, okay? Let's put it this way. MTG, she's a bottle-enhanced blonde. Dumb blondes? Hey, yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm picking up on Marjorie. She did something stupid. They've got the evidence. She didn't want it to come out public, so she said, fine, I'll just resign from office. And to save the embarrassment quota. Okay. Let's see. I'm seeing some more people pop in. Anybody else? Anybody else want to pop in? Elon's new job. Right now, Elon his new job is keeping an eye on his companies. He didn't get to where he is. He's kicking in and going to start cleaning up a lot of crap, especially a lot of the spam that is all over the X platform. I don't know about any of you, but if you go in and you look at the chats and you see these message requests, and they're all sleazy people, and they're all basically pornography. So it's got to make sure all those sites are kicked off. Marjorie, I have a feeling, is going to be, yeah, she signed off. She's resigning after she gets all her perks. But that was part of the agreement of her resignation, okay? That was part of her pension, okay? That was part of the agreement for her to sign out, to resign. But Jeff E., he is, how do I put it? He was being under the control of the people who control the Democratic Party. He was a pawn. He approached the big shots like Klaus Schwab and stuff, and all those idiots with like World Economic Forum, Health Organization. That's why you see Billy Gates on the list and a bunch of other people. The Florida dude, he was basically approached. It's like everyone talks about Swiss bank accounts, how you want to hide your money, make your money, Swiss bank accounts. Well, when he went over there to find out about the Swiss bank accounts, he got tangled up with the wrong group of people. And they say, you want to make a ton of money? Well, we need somebody to create a location so we can build blackmail evidence for world domination. And he saw a way to make money. And he decided to be the pawn so they could have evidence, blackmail evidence on all these people. And that's what happened. And when he was going to spill the dirt, that's when, how do I put it? The federal marshals had to remove him from that facility in New York. I keep getting that he's like around Cheyenne Mountain, someplace like that, spilling the beans. Who's funding that idiot from the Virgin Islands? And we also have to realize who's funding those idiots out of Puerto Rico also. People, go and get the movie Eyes Wide Shut. Stanley Kubrick, he exposed a lot. And there's like 30, 40 minutes that had to be cut out of the film. And the deleted stuff, people are saying it was disposed of, destroyed. But people do have portions of it, and it's hidden. And there's copies of the complete script out there. The Eyes Wide Shut was Kubrick exposing a lot of stuff that's happening. And that was kind of a expose of what the evil people are actually doing in life. Okay? So it's going to be interesting when the truth, all of that comes out. And it will shortly. Soon as William is in charge, he's going to be basically in daily contact with Donald. And they will be, by that time it'll be Zelensky will have to return those sections of what they call the Ukraine back to Russia. And those people will be able to call themselves Russian like they always have been. And once that's taken care of, then it also, the Denmark is going to say, no more. Same with, it'll be Denmark and Italy and Austria and many of the other Eastern European countries who have said no to the invasion. They will be on Macron's case to lock down the Channel border, the Channel. I just got D-Day. They will be locking down all the beachfronts all over northern France to prevent. Okay. Zelensky's and China and all the other out-of-country idiots who've bought property in the United States, they forgot a simple thing called eminent domain, and the local townships are going to swipe all that property from them. Okay. So it's going to be eminent domain, returning that property. And it's going to be turned into like an agricultural park. And the people that are put out on like community service, stupid idiots, they'll have to go run those. They're going to be farmland that they're going to have to check out. Yeah, Eugenie and Beatrice are going to be audited. And no, they're not going to lose their titles, but they'll be put on the back shelf, back burner big time. They'll be kind of on the same level as the Gloucesters and the Kents, actually a little bit lower. They'll be on the same level as the Lascelles family, you know, Princess Mary, you know, QE2's aunt, who was the Princess Royal prior to Anne. Her kids, yeah, Beatrice and Eugenie are going to be dropped down to the level of them. Okay? Kind of like, you're here, but you're only show up when we have to have the entire clan show up, okay? Yeah, it's because William is going to be in charge. He is calling for, he wants to see the bank records of Henry and Rachel. He'll request them. And they're going to see some creative accounting created by her friends, okay? And that's why Henry is kind of been out of sight for a little bit. He has been bouncing back and forth very quietly. Zelensky, he's a failed comedian. He's a puppet. And everything is, he's been told to return the land back to Russia, where it should have been returned long ago, because they forgot to fill out the paperwork, so it reverts back to Russia. Those people will all end up very happy. And the people who aren't, well, hey, they can go move. Pick up your shit and move. And Zelensky will be out of office. And there will be, because he got kicked out, he will be crying. He will be singing like a canary. Big time. Okay? He will be singing like a massive canary. Exposing all. All right? Any other big questions for today? Anybody else who'd like to pop in? We'll put the link up one more time. I know we've got lots of people popping in. If anyone would like to pop in and ask any questions, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, I'm getting up to my hour mark. And that's one of those spammer callers. So, okay, it's like, yes, it's Sunday, sunny here. I'm going to go take care of some errands. I hope everybody has a pleasant evening. I will be, go ahead on Twitch. You don't have to be subscribed to watch, but on Twitch TV, twitch.tv. Yeah, don't forget to check out the Psychic LJ show. I'll be in the comments. And my screen name on that is my Glenda the Good that you see as my Cash App monitor. So that's how you find me on Twitch when you're watching it in the chat comment. That's me in the LJ comments on Twitch on Sunday nights. So yeah, that's 5 p.m. Chicago time. So that's what, 11 p.m. 11 p.m. UK time. So if I see you in the chat this evening, great. I hope everybody has a good week. If you have questions, go ahead, shoot me an email. And thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful week. And make sure you've got cash at home, like a couple $100 in cash, just in case. There may be some. This upcoming Friday is what they call Black Friday here in the States. It's the day after Thanksgiving, where a lot of shopping is done, but somebody's going to try to pull nonsense with the banking apps. Okay. So make sure you've got some cash sitting at home this weekend, okay? You know, everyone needs a few $100 sitting in the cookie jar. So everyone have a great week. Enjoy the holidays. I might pop up early on Thursday morning just to see how everyone's doing. So have a great day, great evening. I'll see you. I know I will see some of you later on Twitch. Bye-bye.